Let's go over everything you need to know for Essay 3, which is our last and final paper. So this is going to be a chance for you to really dig into a topic that you care about and make an informed, well-supported argument. All right, let's go over the due dates first. Here's the timeline, and make sure you save it in your calendar, write it down, etc. Now, your outline is going to be due on Saturday, May 3rd. Your rough draft number 1 is going to be due on Wednesday, May 7th. Rough draft number 2 will be due on Saturday, May 17th. And then your final draft will be due on May 28th. So as you can see, we're going to work through this step by step so it's not super overwhelming for everybody. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the goal and purpose. Now, the goal of this paper ultimately is to write a research-based argumentative essay that shows critical thinking and thoughtful structure. So this essay will have you analyzing a significant societal issue and choosing one of the 3 argumentation models that we've been going over throughout the semester: traditional argument, the Tolman model, or the Rogerian model. Now, let's go ahead and look at the topics that you can choose. So here we have a list. But if you liked what you wrote it back in essay 1, which was a while ago, so it's good news. You can stick with that topic and just expand on it. If you remember, the essay 1 was an exploratory paper, and it didn't ask you to form an argument or pick a side. So if you do like your essay 1, you can take that topic. You can even reuse the sources that you have and just turn it into an argumentative essay using one of the models. If you don't like your essay 1 topic, here are some topic choices that you can choose from. Now, if you want to pick one of these, make sure that you narrow your focus. So for example, instead of just technology, you can do the impact of technology in the workforce. Or if you like something with AI, you can do the ethics of AI in art. You could also do something related to sexism, which could be something like media's role in the portrayal of women in horror films. Ultimately, you want to pick something that you are really interested in and that you can argue for. All right, let's talk about the essay structure and the different argument models. So no matter what model you choose, you're going to need a solid introduction, organized body paragraphs, and a strong conclusion. So here's a quick breakdown of the different models. So traditional argumentation is going to take a clear stance and defend it with evidence. This is probably the one that you're the most familiar with and probably what you did in English 100. Next, we have the Tolman model, which we just used in Essay 2. And this one will have you use a claim, support, warrant, backing, and rebuttal, which is a little bit more technical and detailed. Next, the Rogerian model, which will have you acknowledging both sides and find common ground and offer a compromise. Now, whatever model you pick is really going to depend ultimately on your topic. And regardless of whichever one you choose, you want to make sure that you include a counter argument somewhere in the body. So you want to make sure you make enough space for that. All right. Let's talk about research requirements. So you're going to need at least 3 credible sources, and 2 of those must come from the school's library database. You can use scholarly articles, books, and trusted websites. However, make sure that once you have your 2 sources that come from the database and you kind of start exploring outside of that, make sure you check that website on Media Bias Fact Check to make sure that it is reliable and not biased in any way. And of course, again, you're going to blend your evidence well, quote, paraphrase, and summarize thoughtfully to provide that ethos for your argument. Now, in regards to formatting and citations, again, we've been doing this all semester. You want to make sure that everything is in MLA format. The length is going to be 1,500 to 1,700 words, 12-point font, Times New Roman, etc. All your in-text citations must be MLA, and you must include a full works cited page, again, also an MLA. All right. So hopefully going over this clarified some questions that you had. One last important note. This is going to be your last and final essay, so you are not going to have an opportunity to resubmit. So that being said, you want to avoid using any sort of AI tools like ChatGPT, Grammarly, or any other AI writer for this assignment, because it's a no resubmission assignment, which means that if your paper does show any signs of AI usage, even if you just put it through Grammarly to edit it, you're just going to receive automatic 0 because I don't know that that's what you did. And again, since it is the last paper, there's not going to be a chance for us to talk through that anymore. Anyway, I highly suggest you edit your own papers, because how else are you going to learn how to edit, right? Okay, so ultimately, I really just want to read your ideas, your words, your voice. That's kind of what I want to see here. If you need help, you can always reach out to me, obviously in a timely manner. Talk to people at the tutors at the Writing Center. And again, attend office hours if there's anything that's confusing. And if you can't attend office hours, I'm always open to meeting you outside of that. All right, so you have plenty of time and lots of flexibility to write something really powerful and persuasive. This is why I allow you guys to choose your topic. And you want to pick something that means something to you, that is exciting to research, and something that you're going to have fun just planning it out. All right, so hopefully this clarifies everything for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to inbox me or send me a message on Pronto. Bye.